Hi. It has been suggested to me, especially by my wife, Mimi, and a couple other people, that maybe I should get back into the habit of making video blogs or vlogs. Back when YouTube first started, I made vlogs for a while, um, and it basically was something that helped ground me uh, while I was unemployed. I think when YouTube started, that was during my year of unemployment, where I couldn't find a job um, to save my life. If I needed to save my life with a job, I would have died. Um, I feel like I almost did actually that year. It was rough, but yeah, I used to make vlogs. I guess I'll make them again. Although back when YouTube first started, I tried to make one every day, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I have that many things to talk about. Um, I'm very opinionated, and I have a lot of thoughts and dreams and unfulfilled ambition, but I don't feel like talking about them most of the time. The things that I get really excited about, I like to talk about, but then I think nobody cares about this. Like if I get really excited about something and I'm talking to somebody about it, I can see their eyes glaze over, and I was like, oh, I got to wrap this up, right? Um, so anyway, the last week has been really rough because Loki got put down last week Friday, and ever since then, like the weekend after that, I was just inconsolable. I couldn't couldn't go an hour without being upset in some way. And this past week, it's like I can smell him. Sometimes I go into a room and I think he's there because I'm just expecting him to be there, and um, I'll look at a picture and I'll just get upset. I can't even have a conversation with about him usually without getting teary eyed or choked up. Um, it's really uh, it's really confusing for me too because we only had that dog around for about 7 months, but I really fell in love with him. Um, and it might have hit me really hard, I think, because the week prior to that, we had put my cat down. My cat Lily was 20 years old. She was developing arthritis, and she was turning into a grumpy cat. My first cat had lived to be 23, and I do not remember my first cat purring during the last 2 years of her life. And I could see Lily kind of moving in that direction, and I didn't want her. I didn't want her to be miserable and unhappy. So I booked an appointment to euthanize her, and every day leading up to that, I just gave her tons of treats and spoiled her and tried to spend time with her and get her to purr as much as often, make her comfortable. Um, she was a great cat too because every time that I slept, she would either curl up right underneath my arm or right behind my legs, right behind my knees, my legs, and she. Well, the first place that I lived in with Lily, we had mice, and Lily was a feral cat. So when I first got her, she would like hiss at me whenever I fed her because she thought that I was taking her food. And eventually she realized that I had the food. And so she started being nicer to me, and like it was like a whole shift in our relationship. But anyway, the first place that I had her, we had mice, and she was a feral cat, so she would chase mice. She could hear them in the walls. She'd be like looking at the ceiling and like running around the room because she could hear them behind the drywall. And I came home from work one day and there was a dead mouse right in front of the chair that I usually sat in when I came home, and I screamed like a little girl. I just like turned around the corner and and that was not the first time that she left me a dead mouse, but it was the only time that I ever screamed, and that was kind of when I knew that Lily liked me. She regarded me as her family, because cats only do that when they like you. They'll kill something, they'll bring it to you like it's a gift. Like, oh, you feed me, here, let me feed you. And yeah, she was a great cat. And then it wasn't even 1 week after we had put her down when Loki bit Mimi, and then we had to put Loki down as well. So it was definitely one thing after another. It was a rough week this last week, and then we had this event on Saturday where all the businesses in town were showing off their wares, called Friends of Boulder Junction, where it was a fundraiser for the library, and I was not looking forward to it at all. I was dreading it, if I'm being perfectly honest. I didn't want to do it. I regretted signing up for it, and just like was not, my heart wasn't in it, and I was incredibly stressed out about it too, because I felt like I was just not going to be mentally present for the whole thing. And then the event started, and I was just perfectly relaxed as soon as I was there and in the middle of it. I was like, oh, this is just my element, and I felt great. And it was kind of one of those examples of your expectation not matching with the reality, but the reality was a good thing rather than the expectation of something really good and it being horrible. This is what I mean by I'm loquacious. I talk a little bit too much. I'm not concise when I just talk off the cuff. If I wrote all this down, I could probably scrunch it down and have a 3-minute video where I just like rapid fire sentences. But if I'm just thinking about things to say, it's rambling, really, is what it is. So anyway, I had a good weekend. I had a rough week, but I had a good weekend. Um, I basically spent all day Sunday either washing dishes from Saturday, or playing Dark Souls, which is what you see behind me. This is Firelink Shrine. I'm actually trying to build this in Lego right now. Dark Souls is my favorite video game of all time. It's sort of a dark fantasy um, adventure game. It's really difficult. Its reputation is for being a difficult game, but it is really a game of strategy and puzzle solving. But they don't hold your hand through it. There are a lot of video games. They'll give you an arrow, like you got to go over here to finish the quest, and Dark Souls doesn't do that at all. It doesn't even give you a map. So it really relies. It requires you to rely on your memory, and it requires you to think about problems and how to solve them in order to get to the next area or to get past. Oh, excuse me. Get past a boss. Anyway, it's my favorite video game of all time. I do play a lot of video games, or I have over the years, and I always find myself coming back to this one. The guy who made this game, Miyazaki, he's made a bunch of other games: Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, and those are all good too. But I think this one is my favorite. I used to play a lot of Grand Theft Auto, GTA 3, GTA 4, GTA 5, GTA Vice City, San Andreas, and I would not say that those are my favorite games anymore. I have a soft spot for Vice City. I still really like GTA Vice City. I think that's my favorite one of that series, but it doesn't hold a candle to Dark Souls. And I just thought having this playing in the background would be nice little background music. You could look at my character, who is kind of glowing because she's wearing the wolf ring, which boosts poise. So they have to give you like a visual indicator that you have like an effect going. So that's why that glow is there. Loquacious. Anyway, I don't know if I'll make a vlog next week, but I will try to. And thanks for watching.